I request Dr. Arvind Srinivasan, Director, Project, Arvind Eye Care Systems, to facilitate the gathering.
Good evening, everyone, respected members on the dais. It's indeed a great moment for me to stand in front of you because I know Nandini for quite some time in her different avatars. The Nandini that you see today is one of the avatars. And left behind, left behind seems to be a term, when you look at it in an isolated way, looks very cynical. I am left behind because nobody else is there. But you're left behind with a purpose. As they say, there are no accidents in life. I think that's what Professor Raghuram was mentioning. The agency is not with you. The agency is with someone else. Someone else is driving your life. Someone else is making those decisions in your life. Once you are able to accept that, then you realize there is a reason that you are left behind. And who is left behind? Who else can be left behind other than Dr. Nandini? 800,000 people commit suicide. 3,000 people, and I use the word commit, I'm sorry about it, but stupid mind doesn't change very quickly. So about 3,000 people every day in the world die of suicide. And look at the caregivers. Look at the people who survive, people who are their kith and kin. Somebody has to give voice to them. I think Nandini was left behind because she had all the life experience to be able to give that voice to this world. In India, there is very little voice, very little intellectual material, very little psychological material. I'm not an expert, I'm an eye doctor, but I'm not an expert. But from what I have heard, what I have seen, even as a medical professional, we are completely ignorant of this field. And I also say, in the part one, I should confess here, all of us have a prying attitude. Nandini, what happened, Nandini? Why did it happen, Nandini? How did it happen, Nandini? That's all of us have a prying attitude. When you see an accident, you want to peep in and see what has happened. It's a prying. You're not going to save the person. You're not going to take the person and put in your car and take them. But we all want to take a peek into it. That's why maybe all of us watch a soap opera or serials are getting so popular, because we want to peep into someone else's problem and all that. So I think and Nandini has not hidden anything. She says, welcome, come into my world, see how it is. Because most of you won't have the guts to face what I have faced, but I would like to put it in front of you so that you can pry and learn and become a better human being in the days and years to come. Part two, making meaning. There are some things you can only learn in a storm. We can talk about it intellectually, about suicide, about all these things, but only a person who goes through a storm. On a lighter note, somebody said, Nelson Mandela became Nelson Mandela because he was in prison for 27 years. That was a comment somebody made. Every thief that stays in prison for 27 years does not come out as a Nelson Mandela. It is not who goes in, it is the person that goes in. It is Nandini who went through the fire. And when Nandini comes out, she comes out like a Nelson Mandela. She comes out to lead a life with purpose. Not everybody can do this. The one point I really liked in that is, she connects to Carla. That's why I said life has a meaning. There are no accidents in life. Because Nandini suddenly, the first part of Nandini is a witness and an experiencer. That itself is very rare. And coming to second part, she's trying to make meaning. Who else has undergone this? Who is this Carla? What has she done? Can I learn from her? Who are the other survivors? What are the materials that are available? I would like to connect with them. She starts Googling about them. She starts talking to them. She visits people. She visits some Carla in US. She talks to her. Carla's husband is also a neurologist. He also went through the same experience. So that is a very rare quality. And then you suddenly see Nandini is a rare person, left behind for a purpose. Because she is not trying to be a victim, she is now trying to understand the intellectual curiosity. I think there is a reason for it. Nandini is also a wildlife photographer. She likes spaces where there is no clarity, spaces where you don't know what is going to come next. That's why I said life prepares you. I think life has prepared Nandini. All this wildlife photography, all this writing that she did, she edited Bhagavad Gita and made it into a manuscript for all the people. All this, when you connect those dots, I'll finish with a quote. which probably will make sense when I conclude with the quote. All this are not accidents. That's all I'm saying. She is not left behind without nothing. The whole life has prepared her to be left behind. That's how I see it. That's how I experience it. The one point I really liked about, I'm going to take a little longer, I hope it's not an issue. She said, abdicate the responsibility of Murli's suicide. What a powerful way to say. A lot of times we don't abdicate our responsibility, right? We always come back and say, sir, இந்த விஷயத்தை இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் இப்படி பண்ணிருந்தா தப்பா இருக்காதே. We'll keep on replaying this whole thing again and again. இந்த வார்த்தையை நான் சொல்லியிருக்க வேண்டாமே, தெரியாம சொல்லிட்டேனே, இந்த வார்த்தை வாயிலே வந்திருக்கு, நான் சொல்லணும்னே நினைக்கல சார், வாயில வந்துருச்சு சார், தவறி வந்துருச்சு சார். So we keep on replaying that we don't come. So I think when I saw such a deep episode of life, abdicate the responsibility of Murli's suicide. I think we all have to be gentle with ourselves. That was the message that I got from her second part. Coming to the third part, she suddenly starts talking about, oh, meet this woman, her son passed away this way. Meet this sister, her brother passed away this way. Meet this transgender who passed away. Then I'm suddenly seeing, okay, this person has been an experiencer and a witness. And then she is second portion, she kind of connects to the people and uses all her wisdom to make meaning out of it. Third, such amount of deep empathy that she's able to connect to the other survivors. That's why I said you're not left behind. You're left. I think Left Behind is a great title for the book. But to me, thankfully you are here. Because you are connecting to the people. You're giving voices to those people that wouldn't have had voices. And their voices are being heard by us. People who are common people who are living their life but being callous about it or being ignorant about it. So all of us can become that much more sensitive to people in the future. The final part, the part 4, I really liked it because how many times we give time for grieving? You know, grieving is seen as a weakness. என்ன இப்படியே இருக்கீங்க வீட்டில் அழுதுகிட்டே இருக்கீங்க? அந்த காலத்துல எல்லாம் grieving, there was a ritual for grieving. வீட்டுக்கு வந்து அந்த லேடிஸ் எல்லாம் வந்து தாலி அறுக்கிறது, அது ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு lot of drama was there. You need drama to open your soul. Right? Otherwise you need a hard hammer to open your soul. Life can give you both. But dramas does it equally well. So people grieved for weeks together, days together. And there was an episode, right? Even in every religion, grieving has a methodology. Grieving is not one fine day. It's not a black and white. You step today from you have lost and then tomorrow you're all right. There is a big gray area. You walk through those gray areas. I mean, ask Nandini. 3 years she has walked through those gray areas. Today's Nandini is filled with wisdom. But first year Nandini was figuring out where is the next gray spot that I need to put my foot on. And the other aspect of Nandini, it was kind of a slap on her face. You know, she's a teacher. How many of you know that she was a teacher? I'm sure she was a very tough teacher. You know, mind your language. What to say and what not to say. You know, that is, to me, that's again another reason. All this in all her life experiences, teacher, wildlife photography, all of this had a tremendous meaning in making her who she is. And now coming to the final part, the new normal. Transforming through trauma. How many of us realize that? You know, you transform through a problem. We always think transformation has to be positive. And finally, I really liked one aspect. She said radical self-care. You know, that is something which I'm really realizing. I have another friend who talks about it a lot. You know, there are times in life you have to be very selfish. You will have to take care of yourself. Unless the canvas is there, what are you going to draw? What are you going to paint? The canvas has to be there. So unless you take care of yourself, you nurture yourself, you nourish yourself, you eat well, you sleep well, you redecorate your home, you take care of you buy a new car, you buy a new furniture. That's how you take care of yourself. Nandini, you've kind of covered all the bases, Nandini, for us to become better human beings. I really appreciate this opportunity to be able to share. And you know, one good thing when you're asked to speak is you need to read more diligently. So I had the opportunity to read more diligently. And when you read more diligently, you realize how little you know about these things. I'm going to read this quote and then I'm going to end. This quote is from Paulo Coelho. Many of you would know Paulo Coelho, right? Alchemist and many of his books, right? Someday, everything will make perfect sense. So for now, laugh at the confusion. Smile through the tears and keep reminding yourself that everything happens for a reason, and everything happens for a reason. Thank you.